Hello everyone and welcome back to another one of my Wizard 101 videos. Today, I've got something fresh off the press from KingsIsle and Wizard 101. They have graciously partnered with us content creators and I'm very thankful that I was chosen to be one of them. They have partnered up with us to give us some teasers of the new upcoming changes to Arc 3 and 4 Spellement paths. So I am very excited to cover those today. I will be covering the Ice School particularly. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. With these Spellement paths, if you have only the PvP versions trained, it's automatically going to give you the bottom path tier 2 version. And if you were to reset the spell, you would get those 75 Spellements back. Another takeaway from this is the bottom path for these spells are now allowed in standard PvE content, which is great. It gives people a chance to use some of these new utility features in PvE and kind of, do some crash course testing and whatnot with it before they get into a PvP arena, which is great. For the Shadow Enhance spells, I know the bottom path used to be PvP only. Well, there wasn't a bottom path. I know when you upgraded it only for PvP use, it was 2 Shadow Pips. Now they have reduced that to 1 Shadow Pip. So 100% of the second Shadow Pip's value has gone into the utility portion of the updated spell. So this means that a spell of the same rank without the Shadow Pip will do the same amount of damage. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to put the new spells, the new proposed changes coming to the spring test realm on the right, and if there is a Spellement path currently, I'm going to put that on the left for these spells. I want to first start by looking at Freeze Ray. If we look at Freeze Ray here, I'm looking at the bottom portion, starting with 505 ice damage, and it gives you 2 minus 30% weaknesses. It puts them on the opponent. Of course, this is a damage select spell. You can choose to split it. You can do one enemy. And another note, of course, they have taken away that extra Shadow Pip, and it can be used in PvE. And if you go to the top path, it's straight damage, 940 to 1040 damage at tier 5. And tier 5 for the bottom pathing is 545 selectable damage and 2 of those minus 30% charms on the opponent. The next one that we're going to look at is Scion of Ice. The top path lines up pretty well, just standard. The Gambit does a little more, of course, than what it is now. It does 930 damage, or if you have 90% or more health, it gambits to 1900. The bottom path on this is 960 damage, or if you have 4 shields on yourself, you can gambit those off for 1695. I do believe the initial is a little bit less compared to current Live Realm. However, the gambit is buffed more a little bit, so it kind of equals out there. Really great news, really great stuff coming for the Ice School. I'm very excited. I'm really excited for this one. Abominable Weaver, the non-PvP version, the original 790 to 910, and minus 50% weakness or drain weakness it gives you. But the upgraded path is 455 ice damage, and it gives you 2 minus 70 chromatic shields. Chromatic means it would give you 2 minus 70 shields of the school of whoever you casted it on. So if it was a Death Wizard, you would get 2 minus 70% shields casted on them, and so on and so forth. Again, we can notice the Shadow Pip reduction here has been turned into the major utility. I really like this change. I know it may not be the best case scenario for everyone. There may be, some discourse about that, but I really like the change. I think it's a great change. Ice is known for their shields, and being a double chromatic shield minus 70 makes it just chef's kiss. The next one I want to talk about is Clsm. Of course, the top path is selectable damage, 755 at tier 5. You can choose to split that through 4 opponents or a single target. The bottom path is a very interesting mechanic here as well. We can do 325 damage at tier 5, selectable damage, of course. You can split it just like the top path, and it gives you 2 minus 70% chromatic shields on the opponent. I really like that. I love it. I love it. I love it. They're giving us the utility of the shield, which is what Ice is really known for. You know, big health, big shield, big resist. So I love that. I think it's great. It's really good. These changes are probably going to shake things up a little bit in you know, PvP wise, but I think it's a really positive change overall for Ice. Up next is my favorite spell, Snowball Barrage. I'm really excited about this one, especially the top path, because I don't PvP. But, you know, it starts out at 95 damage per pip. It's an X pip spell. So at tier 5, it will do 115 damage per pip, plus 300 if you put an epic on it, of course. So I'm really excited about that. I hope that those numbers do not change. I'm really pumped about this. This is amazing. I love it. And if we look at the bottom path on tier 5, we have 545 selectable damage. Like I said, you can split that against your enemies or single target, and it gives you 2 40% traps on the opponent. Now, I have confirmed with Emma that those traps are going to be universal traps. They're not going to be ice traps. They're not going to be chromatic or anything. It's going to be universal. I see that changing in the future. They may change it to 2 ice traps instead of universal, but I like that they are universal at this moment with the spell weaving and stuff, because that can use another school to do damage with those traps. And if you're dual schooling, that's perfect. So I really like that change. Of course, like I said, I'm gonna go for top path on this because that is just too good. Really pumped for that. And last but not least, we have Shatterhorn. At the top, we look at rank 5, path A. It does 1025 to 1145 ice damage, and it has a taunt effect for 3 rounds. Pretty standard, just upgrading the, you know, damage. It does go up 1 pip. Tier 2, and then tier 3, it goes up another pip to 7 pips, which is pretty standard. The bottom path, you can see where that second shadow pip has been taken away, and that has been put into the mechanic of 2 minus 35% weaknesses on the opponent with 460 ice damage. Overall, I'm really liking these spell changes. KingsIsle has done an amazing job with these, and I'm really grateful that, you know, they're working with us content creators to try to tease these and get this out to everyone. Emma's been great. I've been working with her, you know, obtaining the content. You know, of course I had questions, and she's been really good. She's doing a really good job with the community, and I know some of these changes may cause some discourse in the community. I ask that we keep it respectful, you know, because keep in mind these are test realm changes. So these spells are not final. Nothing in test realm is ever final. Changes, you know, will occur throughout the test realm, I'm sure, and before it goes live, it'll probably, you know, it could also change. Just be respectful. That's all I ask. But thank you guys for coming in to another one of my Wizard 101 videos. I'm super pumped for the spring test realm, and I'm ready to start casting. Let's see. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.